All right. So new patient phone call. And why don't sharing your screen, Paul, is working out great. You want to just do that, and
Okay.
I'll follow along that way. So uh, my simple man brain, I can only do one thing at a time. I can't share the screen and talk at the same
You're an
time.
eye. You can multitask. So where we're going with this is you've got your pages in the manual that we're starting on page 45. And I'm trying to get my view back down here for some reason. Okay, so this is a great team conversation to have with your team of what the greeting is about and be clear on that. You probably already done some training in that area, haven't you, Dr. Davis?
Yes and no, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just assume nothing, and we're going to go to that form in the back, but we're also going to, and just let you see these pages here of the mentality of the phone is this right here. I used to feel like if the phone would shut up, I could get my work done.
It's an interruption.
And I also see a lot of teams hiring a new person and bringing them in just to answer the phones. If we could just get someone to answer the phones and lighten the load up front. But you know what? That's dangerous because the phone is the introduction to your practice, and we want a great first impression.
So
And
so think about that sentence, Paula. If you replace practice with relationship, it's an introduction into the relationship. If I just over here answering the phones all the time and then I don't see you when you come in ever, I don't check you out, I don't continue the relationship, that's a challenge. Not that it can't be done, but it's a challenge for sure. Whereas if I talk to Paula on the phone and I make that connection when she walks in, I go, oh, you must be Paula, I'm Eric, we talked on the phone.
yeah, that's really a good thing. So I had to shift my thinking. If this phone shuts up, I won't have a job. And it's not a task that we want an unskilled person to be answering the phone. We want our highest skilled person to be on the phones. Not someone who hasn't been through a lot of training, doesn't know how to build a relationship with people on the phone. And some philosophies in coaching teach you to hurry up and get that patient off the phone. We're a little bit different in that if we want to know more about that person because it follows that natural law of research. The more you know about that person, the more they think you know what you're doing. Right, Eric?
Yeah, so think in terms of who do you want to be, Walmart or Nordstrom?
There you go.
Nothing wrong with either of them, but who do you want to be when it comes to dentistry?
That's right.
And then think about how much. Did you know in Target, you're not allowed to work the floor until you've completed 4 weeks of training at Target? Okay? You're not allowed to touch the floor. At Nordstrom, you can imagine the intensity is just amplified. We get someone in dentistry and we go, here, sit, here, watch Yana, and then tomorrow you'll start answering the phones. Right? We need to give people training the expectation to get there. And so this is a system, not a script, but these words are a guideline for you. And as Paula said, the law of research says the more you know about them, the more they think you know about what it is you're doing. So case acceptance will occur. So think about that structure. The more you, who's you? The more you know about them, the more they think you know about what it is you're doing. Who's the you in there that we're talking about? Get very specific, not just us. Who's the you?
The practice.
And even getting more specific, it's the guy sitting in the front row, right? The more you know about the patient coming in, the more that patient thinks you know about what it is you're doing. It's every team member from there out, right? But ultimately, it's like a funnel. It's yes, the practice, yes, the admin, yes, hygiene, yes, assist, all the way down to the two doctors. So if he walks in the room and goes, "What brings you in today?" So I got to tell a story, Paula. We have time for a story?
Sure.
So in 2002, I was traveling a lot for work, doing what Paula and I are doing, going to practices, doing seminars, probably twice a month. And I already started thinking about it. I got to this place where my left ear, I couldn't hear out of it. Like it wouldn't, what's that called? It wouldn't
Pop. wouldn't it?
Equilibrate, right? Or pop.
Okay.
Yeah, it just wouldn't release that pressure. And so after like a month, I went to see my doctor and he referred me to an ear, nose, and throat. So I told my physician, they sent me here. I called the ear, nose, and throat. They answered the phone, doctor's office. What insurance do you have? And so I went through the conversation with them. I told her I couldn't hear in my left ear. That's why I was coming in. And she said, great, we'll get you scheduled. You know, it was pretty quickly. I got in. This was up in Maine. I went in the practice, and I'll never forget the layout. Green shag carpet, wood paneling walls. And I remember the wood paneling. I remember the wood paneling because my hair got stuck in one of the creases when I fell asleep waiting for my appointment because it was a 30-minute wait. But I walked in and I kind of tripped over the shag carpet a little bit. And then I behind the glass was the lady, and I gave her but I had to wait a while because I was interrupting their conversation. This is all 100% true. Okay. Waited for them. I was kind of like, hey, I didn't want to bang on the glass. And so she, slides it up just enough to not catch COVID before COVID existed. And she took the paper out and go, okay, we'll be right with you. And she closed it. Now, the paperwork was a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy. You guys know what I'm talking about? And I had written on there, I couldn't hear to my left ear. It's not equilibrating after air travel. Okay. I go sit down. I fall asleep 30 minutes later. There's like two older women, like senior citizens in the reception area. And they're sitting over there talking. And the lady walks out and she goes, Eric. And I wake up abruptly, right? Maybe she needed to wake me up. Maybe she said my name a couple times quietly. I don't know. But I think she could have probably figured out who Eric was by the three people in the room. So I get up and we walk out back and she weighs me and I have no idea what my weight has to do with my hearing. We go sit down and she says, so what brings you in today? And I explained I couldn't hear it in my left ear due to travel and all these sorts of things. And she says, okay, great. I'll let the doctor know you're here. 10 minutes go by and the doctor walks in. Guess what the first thing he says to me when he walks in the room, guys, what did he say?
Brings you in today.
And I said, I couldn't hold it anymore. I said, well, I thought I was here to get my hearing checked, but obviously you guys need yours checked. And I got up and walked out. No, I didn't say that. No, that's the only lie. That's the only lie. I did not say that. I explained the story all over again, right? I told him all over again. How confident at that point as a patient am I in that doctor as his ability to care for me? Did I remember this is almost 20 years ago. Now I've been telling the story for a lot of years. I mean, it really stood out to me. Do you hear me talk about anything positive in the story?
I think the wood paneling was
It's coming back in style.
The shag carpet. Wood paneling sounds nice, right? Yeah. This had been there a while. You could tell it had been there a while. So, all the things that stood out to me, it's like a slippery slope towards case acceptance, right? It's like climbing a mountain on loose gravel. And every interaction that I have with that practice or every interaction your patient has with your practice, they could slide down depending on what you say or how it appears. Everything is pointing towards case acceptance. And all of it, you could be doing great and then slide back down, one step forward, two steps back, right? That could really happen. Everything in that situation was a step back. He couldn't even help me. I left without any solution. And so, I don't know, it's one of those things you wake up one day, you're like, oh my gosh, I can hear it in my ear. I wonder how long I've been able to hear it in my ear. I never noticed it, right? Yeah. So we're about changing that. We're about implementing the law of research so that when I talk to Paula, the patient, on the phone, when Dr. Davis walks in that room, or whoever the first clinical team member is with that patient, right, walks in with them in person, they repeat back to Paula what I talked to her on the phone. So the relationship I developed with her on that slope, just the baton gets past the next person, they keep going. And you can see right there where it says, revisit the info you know about them. You're verifying the research. So you're telling them what you know about them. So when you walk in the room, you don't say, what brings you in today? You say, oh, I understand you talked to Yana on the phone. She told me that it's been a few years, blah, blah. They start thinking, wow, they really communicate. They know what they're doing. They're on top of it. I have confidence in the doctor's competence now. So the process we're taking, yes, it's for admin to do, and we're going to help you with that on the first page, but it's for the clinical team's benefit. You guys see that?
And the clinical team needs to know how to answer the phone like this too. I'm sure that in your office, the clinical team, if they don't have a patient, they're helping out in other areas. So some of the best verbal skills I've ever heard was an assistant or hygienist, can't remember, coming up front. She was helping out, and she had the form right there ready to go, and she did a great job taking
Nailed it,
the
yeah.
phone call. You know, what we want to avoid is putting people on hold. And one of my pet peeves is, and I'll call my clients' offices a lot of time and go, Dr. Davis's office, can you hold, please? What's
No.
wrong with that?
No, I can't hold. The D patient, no. Or they go, Paula, it's Eric. I see a scheduled appointment. Give me a call back.
Yeah, and I've done that. I have been known to do that. It's me. I just need to answer a quick question.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Yeah,
So true.
so-
So true.
We don't want to put people on hold. So, you know, some teams will say, well, we have a new patient coordinator and you'll have to talk to them.
Friction.
But they're not here today.
Friction. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to make it easy for this new patient to get in. The longer they wait, the longer it's taking to get in. So let me ask you guys, well, let me say this. First of all, nonverbal communication is bigger than you think. It's more important than you think. So thank you for calling Dr. Davis' office. This is Eric. How may I help you?
Oh, Eric, are you okay? You sound like you're not feeling well.
So I'm using all the right words, right? But that doesn't matter. It's how I say it. Do I sound like a place I'd want to go?
No.
Right? And I don't say good morning or good afternoon because I'll screw that up. It's, 10 a.m. and I go, good afternoon, doctor's
Oh,
office.
1201. Oh,
Oh, it's afternoon. Shoot, I messed that up. Good afternoon, doctor's office. And I
Yeah.
don't give my name, right? So this is laid out perfectly. It shows appreciation, right? Carnegieism, show appreciation. And it's using names. The sweetest word in any language is what, guys? Their name. And then I'm going to use their name 3 times in the conversation.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So we want to use our I personality when we're answering the phone. So we've got to smile. We've got to ask. Look what it says right here. Show enthusiasm.
This is our greeting. This is the beginning of the process. This is the greeting. So thank you for calling. What do you say the practice name? Do you say the doctor's name? What do you guys say?
Practice.
Thank you.
I say thank you for calling Elite Dentistry. This is Jennifer. How may I help you?
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you for calling Elite Dentistry. This is Eric. How may I help you? It's a question mark at the end. Now, if it's a new patient, I want to hear from you guys. What do they typically say when you do that? They come back with something, and like this example says, "Do you take insurance?" What do they say to you when you after you give your intro?
Are you taking new patients?
Are you no? We're going out of business. Yeah. Okay. What else?
Need to make an appointment. Yeah.
I need to make an appointment.
Yeah.
How much is something?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see kid? Okay. All of the above. How many times would you say? What's the percentage of times that patients, when it's a new patient, you answer the phone like this, the greeting, and they say, "Oh yes, my name is Eric Vickery. I'm a new patient. I'd like to schedule a D0150 comprehensive examination, please." Okay. 0%. Now.
Unlimited budget.
Yeah. Okay. We'll add that too. And I got all the money in the world. I just hit the lottery. Yeah. Now, let me say this. Would it be nice if they did that? Yes. But they don't know what to say. So I called to schedule the chiropractor, and I basically led with that. I was like, yeah, my name's Eric Vickery. I'd be a new patient. I was referred by Diane Livingston, and I'd like to schedule my first appointment with you guys. I bet she was like, oh, that's so nice. Yes. She didn't have to try to figure things out. Is this a new patient? What's going on? But they don't know what to say. This is why we have to ask questions to control the conversation. Look at all the question marks in the first 4 lines there. Hey, Paula, on your cameras, can you drag your cameras just over to the left side for this so they can see awesome welcome?
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize you could see.
It shows up as a black box there. Do you guys see a black box there?
That's better on that side.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So now I do my greeting. I don't care if they say is it Taco Tuesday there. I don't care what they ask for. I always have the same transition statement that Paula mentioned before. Guys, repeat after me. I'd be happy to help you with that.
I'd be happy to help you.
with that.
I'd be happy to help you out with that. Again, my name is Eric, and who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Yeah.
I get control of the conversation. So I put a pin in it and said, I'd be happy to help with that. They said, yeah, I wonder if you take Delta Dental. I'd be happy to help you out with that. Again, I'm Eric, and who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Yep, there you go. You don't,
Yeah.
you see, we feel like we've got to answer that question
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
But we don't. No, don't. You're going to lose opportunity if you do that. You want to connect with them first.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm not frustrating them. I'm taking them through my process, but I'm being pleasant with them. I'm using the right verbal skills. And they go, this is Bob. I'm wondering if you take Delta there. Well, tell me more about your insurance, Bob. Who's it through? I can go answer a question with a question again. Tell me more about that. Right? If I absolutely need to, if they pressure me into it, I can still go that route. But if not, they say, oh yeah, this is Bob. That's a whole lot of help, right? They don't know what to say. So I say, well, I'm happy to help you out again, Bob. So let me ask you this. When was the last time we saw you here in our practice? Now, what am I trying to figure out, guys? If they're a new patient or not. Absolutely. If why wouldn't I just say, are you a new patient?
Because what if Bob's been there for 20 years and he's insulted that you asked him that question?
Yeah, Bob's been a patient for 20 years. He comes every 3 years, and I was just hired 2 years ago. I've never met Bob before, right? And he goes, no, I've been coming there for 20 years. Are you new? Right? So when was the last time we saw you in our practice? And if they're a new patient, they're not going to be offended by that. Oh, I've never been there before. Well, I'm so glad you chose to call us. Let me be the first to welcome you to practice. I'm so glad you chose us. Hear where I'm going towards that, guys? I'm moving up the slope. I'm digging in. I'm saying, hey, we're moving towards scheduling an appointment already. I'm curious, Bob, who may we thank for referring you to our practice? Oh, my friend Google. Oh, we love Google. Yeah. Sometimes we even Yahoo too. All right. So I want to ask the clinical team something. This is just the greeting part. Let me ask the clinical team something. Clinical team, and there's no wrong answers here. What do you think the most important question we could ask the new patient caller? You could see all these questions on here. What do you think is the most important question we're going to ask them? Clinical team. What was it? Okay, last time you were in to see the dentist. That's important. We wanted to know how much they value it, how long has it been, what kind of things we're up against. That tells us a lot. Good. All right, what else?
Their needs, finding out
Yeah,
their
what is the
needs.
main reason?
Purpose of the call. All right, good. Yeah, because that's going to give you a head start too, some direction into urgency. I agree. That's a good question. There's no wrong answers here. What else? Clinical team has some pretty specific focuses, right? I can hear it, those two things. All right, admin, I'm going to open up to you. What do you think is the most important question we're going to ask on the new patient phone call? Jennifer, can you repeat it?
Oh, gotta be awful. Is that everything? Their medications, or she's saying their medical history.
Okay, so to prepare for them. Okay, good. Medical history. That's good. What else?
I want to know what their past dental visit was like.
Okay.
Why are they looking for a new dentist?
Experience, history, why us? That's good. What was that, doctor?
Maybe what brings you to our office or our area.
Okay, good. All right. We're building rapport, right? We're building rapport as we ask all these questions. They're all important questions. They're all equally important. But and they all have to be done. I 100% agree. Let me rephrase my question. I'm taking you through a mental exercise without you even knowing it. All right. Admin team, please don't answer this the first time through. Clinical team. What is the goal? What is our goal every time we answer a new patient phone call?
Schedule a patient.
To get them scheduled.
Across
To get them.
the-
What's that?
Across to the doorway.
To get them in. To convert them to a scheduling appointment. Okay. Now let's go back to the original question. If our goal is to schedule every patient who calls, what's the most important question we're going to ask them?
Can you come tomorrow?
All right. Ask for the appointment. And 64% of the time, dental offices don't ask for the appointment. Think about that number. Almost 2/3 of the time, we don't ask them to schedule. So if you want to fix your conversion rate, just start asking. Now, I say this early in this conversation because there are some other viewpoints that says, just get to that question. Yes, I agree. It is the most important question to ask. However, we just went through an exercise that said there are a lot more important questions that we need to ask before we earn the right to ask for the appointment. Does that make sense, guys? So yes, we are going to ask. We're going to do a greeting. We're going to do rapport and some research, right? We're going to do research through the SWOT. And then we're going to ask for the appointment. And somewhere in there, and then SWOT them, and then prioritize the commitment. Like, we're going to have this structure. So Paula, we can't see the form. There's like a black box there.
Sorry, yeah, I was pulling up
Oh, you're going to share something?
a phone skills score
Yes.
sheet.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, let's do that. So I want you to understand the flow of this is meant to build the rapport, to create the relationship that earns the right to ask for the appointment. Because I can't just, thank you for calling Elite Dentistry. This is Eric. Can I help you? Paula says, do you take my insurance? Yeah. Can you come in tomorrow? That's not going to work when it comes to case acceptance. That's like I want to go on a diet. That's like I want to work out, so give me steroids. Right?
That's commodity. That's treating this person as a commodity.
Just come in and we'll take care of you when you get in. Just assembly line.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want relationship. If you think about, go back to the beginning of today, the purpose, the vision, what's going to set us apart, what's going to make people want to come see us, the pull purchase. It's got to be relationship. Then you can filter in your clinical expertise in whatever you want to do, whether it's TMJ, cosmetics, sleep dentistry, implant surgeries. Clinically, you can over almost like superimpose, like over that, go over that process. But without the relationship, you're, again, like Paula said, they become a commodity to get an implant done. Come in tomorrow, we'll do an implant. What were you gonna say, Paula?
No, I'm agreeing with you. I think, you have to ask yourself, and I have stories too. I'm very hard on the doctors I go to because I'm looking at all this, And the dermatologist I went to, you could have a robot sitting there, and it would be more friendly than her. So if this is robotic, or if it's just you're treating everyone, just going through the motions, people can tell that, and they don't like that. They really don't. I mean, just like when I call my physician, the first thing they ask me is, what is my birth date? I need to schedule an appointment for a checkup. What's your birth date? What?
Who's your insurance? Who's your insurance?
Yeah, who's your insurance? I mean, I don't like that. I mean, do y'all like that? Do y'all like to be treated that way?
I guess it's more like just how it is now. So it's like you expect it when you call. I mean,
So when it's not that way and it's an awesome experience, what does that do for you?
it wows you.
Wow. It's not that hard to stand out when everybody else sucks at it.
That's
Right?
right. This is how you create that 5-star service and that wow, that Ritz-Carlton experience that makes you stand out from the other offices.
Doctor said something about the vision, the long-term vision. When we get out of, I don't like saying drop insurance because then I don't want that to turn into what we say to patients. But when we remove ourselves from restrictive insurance plans, right? We have to have a relationship with the patient for them to stay. We have to stand out. There has to be a better reason for them to stick with us than just we're in their network.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you this. So knowing that all those questions are important to earn the right to ask for the appointment, how long should a new patient phone call take? What do you think? Remember, you got to take DISC into consideration. You got to take the questions, the rapport, the build up to get to that, earn that right. How long do you think it should take? What was that?
3 to 5 minutes.
Three to 5 minutes?
On 3 to 5 minutes?
It takes me 3 minutes just to register them in Open Dental.
I was gonna say that seems short.
So the D in the room says 3 to 5 minutes. So for a D patient calling, we want to try to get it close to that 5 minutes. So let me say the answer. as long as it takes. However long it takes for that person, you're going to customize that experience for that person. Because if I've got Dr. Davis on the phone, if I got Keith, the patient, calling me, and I pick up that he's a D right away, I better move through it. Or I better give him real good reason why he's still on the phone with me. And I better not put him on hold. How long will you wait on hold, Dr. Davis?
Not long. Don't give me a month for a prophylactic.
I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. So I want you to understand something. The form is here to follow, but the timing of how long it takes is going to be determined by the interaction you're having with that patient, how long it takes to get to ask for the appointment. Yeah, Paul.
And Eric, objections we get all the time is, I don't have time to do that on the phone. You don't have time not to do this.
Yeah.
Because it's the number one piece in that first impression in your practice and getting them to say yes. It took me a while to realize that as an admin person, that I had a big bearing on closing treatment by the way I handled this phone call. And the other thing about this is I actually had a team, it was a large team, and they timed it. They timed it before they went back and looked at some of their recordings of how long the new patient call took, and then they timed it using the form. It was actually shorter.
I was gonna say it's the same or shorter. Wow. Yeah.
Because the team member took control of the conversation. They knew by using the system where they were going in the conversation, and it took less time.
Yeah. Yeah, we look at recordings sometimes to grade them, and we can see 12 minutes, 8 minutes. Now, let me say something. I'm not saying it should take 20 minutes, by the way.
No.
I'm saying it could take 5 or 6 minutes with some people. Yeah. A highly referred, great referral source sends in a D patient, and they kind of know what to say, and they go every 6 months, and it's boom, boom, boom. Awesome. Now, once I get through greeting and I'm starting to do my research and build rapport with them as I go through this, I can ask them questions about, hey, when was the last time you did see a dentist? Oh, this has been 4 years. So what's kept you away for the 4 years, Paula? What prompted the call now?
Well, I was just kind of thinking that it's been a while, and Wilbur kind of died last week, and I'm kind of back on the market.
Well, how you doing?
I got his life insurance check yesterday.
Oh, darling, you need to come down right now. We need to talk. Hey, I got my eyes on a cruise.
Woo!
All right, so we're gonna ask the questions that make the most sense, and it's like back in the day we used to have those really cheap pinball machines when we were kids that had like the little BB in it and this little spring-loaded thing. We released it and it went up here, and we'd watch it go down and you get some points and it'd take forever. It's kind of like every question you ask could lead you somewhere else. You need to be prepared for that. So Paul and I can't script you and say, hey, when you say this, they're going to say that. And when they say that, you're going to say this. Because it doesn't work that way. It won't work that way. You can't always dictate what's going to be said. So you need to be prepared. The greeting, those first 4 or 5 lines, yes, you can almost guarantee you can go through that pretty directly.
And that's pretty much a greeting for whatever call you have.
New patient.
You might have a patient calling in and saying, do you take Blue Cross? And you say, well, I'm so glad you called. My name is Paula and yours is. And, oh, Sally Jones, when was your last visit with us? Oh, I was there like 6 months ago. Oh, great. So you're a patient of ours. Well, I'm so glad you called about your insurance. Did you have a change in your insurance? Did you just get this? Have you used it before? I mean, so.
Listen to the skill that's Paula's using. It's questions. She's in control of the conversation. Tell me more about your insurance plan. We're eventually going to get there. Now, me personally, being more D, when I get through research and rapport and I feel like it makes sense for me to do so, I will ask for the appointment. Okay? Some people, and I've done this before too, especially with an S, I will do the relationship before I get into that, where it says, how do they want to be treated? And I will do the SWOT. So if I've got a D patient on the phone, I might go right for the appointment just to know, because I don't want them to get edgy and like want to leave, right? And get off the phone. I want to get the appointment scheduled, and then I'll come back to the relationship part. But maybe I don't like get all the data. I just get their name and phone number, and then I put them in an appointment, and then I come back to some things, right? So again, think about the pinball running through and how you can juggle that. Now, If I do it perfectly the way I want, then yes, I'm going to go into this. How do they want to be treated? And I'm going to continue the relationship before I ask for the appointment. So Paula, before you come into the office, we want to make sure that we fully understand exactly what you're looking for and how to best take care of you, just like you were family. So I want to ask you a couple experiences about your past dental experiences and see how we can make sure we create the best experience we can for you here. Does that make sense?
Sure, that sounds good.
Okay, so just in the past, tell me what went well for you. What do you like when you go to the dentist? We want to make sure we repeat those things when you're here.
I like a doctor who's good looking.
Oh, score. Yeah, Dr. Davis, I'm telling you. Awesome.
Is he single?
Not at the moment.
No, I'm just joking. But I mean, really, I like a hygienist who is not too rough and
Oh, yeah.
That she's kind of nice and doesn't guilt trip me.
I understand. I'm going to write this down, okay? I'm going to take notes so that we make sure we adhere to this, okay?
Yeah,
Good.
put me with that nice hygienist.
We're going to do that. We're going to do that. Okay. And then, and look, I know all of the hygienists are going to be nice. So I'm going to go to the schedule later and I'm going to look at the schedule. Oh, I'm going to put you in with our nicest hygienist. I've got this first right here, right? I'm going to use that later. Okay. Now, Paula, let's flip the script here. Tell me, was there tell me the things that didn't go well for you in dental office, because we want to make sure we avoid those things when you're here.
Well, I always had trouble with my bill at that other office. They could never really explain it to me, and I really don't like that.
Gotcha.
Just never really understood
Clarity.
why they charge me certain things.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you this. I will be glad to help you out that. I've been in dentistry for 23 years, I think, 24 years. And I love helping patients, not only get healthy, but understand the financial aspect of it. And so I'm going to be glad to help you with that. Okay.
Okay. Sounds
All right.
good.
Awesome. Let me ask you this. I want to make sure you're absolutely comfortable in here. So just tell me, what can we do to make sure you're absolutely comfortable in the dental chair?
Well, do y'all have those bite blocks?
Tell
what I'm talking about?
Tell me more what you mean.
Well, I just have my jaw gets sore from keeping my mouth open a long time, so sometimes they'll put a little block back
Gotcha.
there where I can prop my mouth, rest my jaw on that, so I don't have to strain my muscles all the time.
So the bite block helps you, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Do y'all
Okay.
have those?
Yeah, I'm going to write that down to make sure doctor has that. And then what you can say is, hey, I need that because I'm sore or whatever. Okay, I'm getting tired.
Yeah, that really helps my jaw and not walk out with a headache. So.
Okay, and share with me anything else you'd like us to know before you come in. Anything at all.
Oh, let's see. Do you have blankets and neck pillows?
Yeah, we actually have blankets that you can take with you. You come in, and if you'd like a
Really?
blanket, we hand it to you, and it's yours at the end of the appointment. Yep.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, you're welcome to
like
regift them too. If you want to regift them, you can too. Wash them and regift them. Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. I like that.
There's actually a company that makes these blankets. I think with shipping and everything is like $6 or something out the door. So, yeah, you can give them away. They're not doesn't have your logo on or anything. It's not like that, but they're nice. They're good quality. So, all right. So think about this clinical team. Is it nice for you to know that her jaw gets tired when her mouth's open? It'd be good to know, right? Yeah. Admin team, do you think it's going to be important for us to be clear on the bill with her?
And you think the hygienist wants to know that I want somebody that's not rough and doesn't guilt trip me? If they come in and start guilt tripping me on flossing or all that kind of thing.
And now we have a relationship and rapport. By doing this research and relationship, I can do this. And once you're good at it, you can go through it efficiently. I wouldn't say quickly, but you can go through it pretty efficiently. I'm doing it, slowing it down so you can hear the steps. Okay, we're having fun with it. So now I feel like I have rapport with her and I know what she's looking for. And then I can say, you know what, Paula, you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to get you started with our office the same way we get started with all of our patients. Have you come in. I'm going to put you with our nicest hygienist. Okay. And we're going to sit down with you. We're going to see what's going on. You guys can talk, get to know each other. And then we'll go from there. How does that sound?
That sounds pretty good. Yeah.
Would you like to go ahead and get that scheduled?
Sure.
Okay, it's not a big deal. It doesn't sound expensive. Now, if you don't plan on doing a cleaning at the first visit, then I wouldn't mention the word hygienist. I just say, I want you to come in. You're going to meet our clinical team. We're going to do what's called a diagnosis. We're going to figure out what's going on. It's a very simple, straightforward appointment, but it's I think they're thorough, and you'll have a really good understanding of what's going on with the health of your mouth. Would it make sense for us to go ahead and get that scheduled?
I think so. I think I'm ready.
Okay. So guys, I'm using law of the herd. I'm explaining what's going to happen, and I'm asking for the appointment. Law of the herd is, I'm going to get you started the same way we get started with all of our patients that are in your situation. Mm-hmm. You guys hear that? Yeah. Remember the rule. I say, you guys understand that? You say, yeah, right?
This is where you can bring back up the insurance. If they started the call with that question, now we can get into dental insurance. You mentioned when you call, do we work with Blue Cross? And then we could say, we have a lot of patients with Blue Cross in our office, and they choose to come here even though we're not on the plan and we're not on the list. So I'm telling them I'm not on the list, and we have a lot more insurance skills we'll go into in the next session.
Yeah.
But I'm letting them know that at that law of the herd, when you said that, Eric, it's like we have a lot of Blue Cross patients, and they come here even though we're not on the list. So I didn't say, no, we're not on the list, but because what do they hear after no?
Nothing.
We've lost them.
I got a question. I'd like to hear from that. What do they seem like when somebody is not converted? That means I called and I asked a few questions. Now, other than I'm gonna take out one. You take $25 payments. You got $5 a month.
I can't hear you very well. Could you maybe
They feel like
come a little closer to the phone?
a new patient. I was just curious what they actually hear when they hang up and don't schedule. I'm just. What is
Oh, what's the primary reason why the new patient isn't scheduling? What was the reason for that? Okay, what do you guys hear?
I just want to hear from their perspective. I'm just.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of times it's insurance, Medicare-based policies, Medicaid patients, those kinds of things.
When you're taking that Medicare or Medicaid call, do you say no, we don't take that, or do you just say no, or do you have an engagement that you use? Is there any tricks you've tried?
Well, with Medicaid, they can see us, they have to pay, they can't use their insurance.
Okay.
A lot of people don't want to do that. And then on Medicare, we're not contracted, so a lot of those people are on fixed incomes, and then they say that they can't pay.
Yeah. That would be a life condition that you're probably not going to overcome, and we'll deal with objections on day 2. I will say this: your conversion rate on a Medicare patient is going to be probably lower, and that's understandable. However, we want to remove friction. So Paula's the Medicare patient, and go ahead, Paula. So thank you for calling. This is Eric.
Hey, Eric. Yeah, I need to know if you take Medicare.
Oh, well, thank you for calling us. I'd be glad to help you out with that. Again, I'm Eric. Who am I speaking with, please?
This is Ginger Vidus.
Oh, hi, Ginger. Ginger, when was the last time we saw you here in our practice?
Oh, I haven't been there. I'm new.
Okay. Well, I'm so glad you chose to call us, and thank you for choosing us. How did you hear about us?
Well, I was over at the senior center, and I walk around the track every Thursday. And those ladies over there were talking about your office, and they said y'all were really nice.
I already know where I'm going because I've got referral sources who come see me anyway, guys. That's a slam dunk, right? Now, does that guarantee she's going to schedule? I don't know. So I say, Ginger, earlier you mentioned something about us accepting something. What was your question again?
Do you take Medicare?
Medicare. Okay. So it's interesting that you asked that. Did the ladies that you were talking with, did they say something about that?
We didn't really talk so much about Medicare, but I was just telling them about I was ready to look for a new dentist. And,
Gotcha. And so you're really you're looking for us as a dental office, but you were just curious if, hey, it'd be nice if we also took Medicare. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I gotcha. So probably like those ladies, like everyone in our practice, they're probably enrolled in our in-office membership plan is probably what they're doing. So so that seems to be a great option. Here's the deal. Can I be direct with you, Ginger?
Sure.
Here's the deal with Medicare. It's built to pay for like some emergency services for more medical expenses. It doesn't really have that dental branch that really provides for quality care that those ladies were talking about that they appreciated so much, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. I was wondering if, because I went to this other dentist. I mean, and if we're swatting them, we're going to find this out, Like I went to this other dentist and they took Medicare, but I sure didn't like it there.
So, and I didn't want to like throw anybody on the bus, but there are definitely some styles that, adhere to that. And it's more of like run them through type situation and not preventive and not necessarily comprehensive. And so Dr. Davis there's a reason we're called elite dentistry. We want to be known for the best type of dentistry that's out there. And there's just some systems out there that just won't allow their patients to get there with it. And so we have other ways to help you get there. And that's our in-office membership plan. Would you like to know more about that?
Gosh,
Right?
yeah,
Okay.
that sounds interesting. So you see what we're doing? If we can find out why they're looking for another dentist, they had a bad experience somewhere, they already went to a Medicare dentist and they weren't happy, we have a better chance building a relationship with them to get them to come instead of just focusing on the Medicare.
And if I just answer that question before I get some information, I'm at such a disadvantage. But as soon as I heard something, I think you guys all heard it too. Other ladies talking about us. Well, if they're coming here, they're not coming here with Medicare, right? And she wants to be law of the herd. She wants to be just like them. But we don't know that if we don't take the time to ask. Those first 4 lines can really change the conversation.
And
Now-
even Medicaid, Eric.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a team in Connecticut, and they were going
Yeah.
through this, and people will call in and say, "Do you take Medicaid?" And they were saying, "No, unfortunately, we don't." And I'm like, I said, let's shift that a little bit.
So think about the words Paul is saying. Remember that unfortunately we don't, tone of voice, all that. It's a slippery slope, guys, and saying it that way is going backwards, right? Oh, that's interesting you'd ask that. I'd be happy to help you out with that. And then you go into the conversation, transition.
How long has it been since you've been here? Get their name. How long has it been since you've been here? Oh, never been there. I'm a new patient. Oh, great. Well, how did you hear about us? I haven't answered the Medicaid question yet. So tell me, have you been to another dentist lately? Yeah, I've been to about 3 other dentists lately. And tell me about that. Sounds like you had a bad experience. Yeah, I really did have they took Medicaid, but it was awful. And so I was just going through the phone book and trying to find somebody else. Well, you know what? We have a lot of Medicaid patients who will come here because they can't find a dentist who will treat them with respect. And they choose to come here even though we're not on the Medicaid list. Does that sound like something you want to try? We have some payment options available for you. Would you like to hear more about that? And I've had teams convert people to come because they're sick of being disrespected because they have Medicaid.
Or treated like a number.
Or treated like a number or whatever. And so they end up coming, and some of these Medicaid patients can afford it. Have you noticed that?
I want to reflect, Paula, real quick, because I'm hearing in the back of my mind, when I was sitting where they are in 1998 listening to this, we were in Boston, and I was listening to this being said to me from other people, right? Walter, and similar things. And I remember thinking, how am I going to do this? I'm not going to remember this, or how long does it take? The objections were eating away at me. And so I want to remind us of something we said earlier today. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So if you go back on Monday and go back to doing it the way that you've always been doing it, the results are always going to be the same. Mm-hmm. But if you're willing to change and try those new things and start to implement them, then the results should start to change.
That's exactly right.
And then you will be sane again. I need like a Joker, screenshot or something at that point. It sounds so...
But it's going to take some practice and some
Absolutely.
like going in the store and trying on clothes. You try on different ways of saying it till it fits and it feels right.
And your patient's not going to go, hey, wait a second, you forgot to swap me.
So why don't we just have them practice the greeting part?
Okay, let's break it down. Yeah, let's.
So let's just turn to your partner and let's take this first section right here, just the greeting. Now we don't know if it's a new patient or not, so the short-haired person is answering the phone, the long-haired person is the patient. So all we want you to do, patient, is say, "Do you take my insurance?" Don't give them anything else. That's your first line. So you do your greeting, "Do you take my insurance?" And let's take it from there and just see how we do. You ready to go?
Go for it. Yeah.
Ready, set, go.
Ready, set, go.
You're doing your dialogue.
My name is Ashley. What was your name? What was your last dental visit?
Everybody, man, a couple years ago. I don't know if it's y'all or not.
Are you getting education?
I think it is. No, I don't think I've been here a while. I'll drive by so I can wait till you sign.
Got to drive by.
She heard us.
She hears everything.
It's the mother in me.
We got an 8x11 LED sign. It glows.
Can't miss us.
That's awesome.
Wait, somebody asked me a question.
Oh, I missed that last week. They tried to rip me off. They said they told me I took the other day when they fire my plane. Gotta take my money. I told her I said, I have to pay all that money. Just wanna make sure I get my insurance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if my insurance don't cover it, I'm not gonna be able to do it.
I mean, I tried it.
Okay, did y'all get through the greeting?
Can't do a phone call recording for y'all teaching, I'll do it for y'all.
What?
All right. Look at this page right here. We're going to wrap up. We want to get your aha moments for the day, what you got from the day. But before we do that, you guys record your phone calls, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Some of them are,
Yeah.
through the ones through the website, the ones that call through the website are recorded.
Well, don't you have Weave?
Oh, I guess we do.
Yeah.
I guess, no, that's my, the website is like my department, so I know the ones that come through the website.
Yeah.
Okay, so Weave records too. So what we like to do with this to help people evaluate their phone skills is we want each team member to listen to their phone calls. And we want to give each team member see, Eric, do you have a copy of this? I don't know if you do or not, but phone skills score sheet. And what we want to do is give each team member this score sheet, and we want you to go in and listen to some of your calls and score yourself. Dr. Davis, have y'all done this before?
Not with this team. Like I said, we used to have Jay Geyer who sent, they sent us automatic CDs about probably 3 months of
Mystery callers,
Yeah.
they would have a
Mystery
mystery.
I'm familiar with those.
Yeah.
We haven't.
When we're not recording, we'll talk about that.
I listened to some myself, but no, we haven't listened to the girls listen to their calls. No.
Okay, so we don't want to embarrass people, and I used to do the mystery shopper thing too, and I found it caused me to lose a little trust with team because they're like, you faked me out, you you pretended to be somebody.
I can never get past it. They always knew it was me, Paula.
Yeah, I know. So what really helps, we don't want to embarrass anybody about their phone skills or anything like that. We don't want to get people upset, but we want you to listen to your own calls and we want you to score yourself with this score sheet. So I will send this to you after we finish. And so this incorporates a lot of the skills that we were just talking about. And we want you to find your best calls. And you know, you can have an admin meeting and we want you to find your best call where you saved a cancellation. Maybe find your best new patient call. Maybe find your best insurance. Do you take my insurance call? So something along those lines where you can really shine in your phone skills, and then you can mastermind that with your other team members. So what do you think about that idea?
Sounds good.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because you know, I don't know about you, but when I'll go back and watch a recording of myself or a video of myself, and I'm like, oh my gosh, did I really say that? I'm harder on myself, and I'm not as defensive when I'm listening to it myself than when someone else is telling me the mistakes I made.
Yeah.
So you can score yourself, bring your scores, discuss things, and mastermind as an admin team on your best. Bring your best phone skills, your best calls, play them for the group if you feel comfortable doing that. And everyone can learn how you saved that cancellation or how you handled that difficult patient or something like that. So would you guys, Yana, do you think this is a good idea?
I think it's a great idea.
Okay.
It's something too y'all can do that. Or something like that.
I've done it the other way and it really gets people offended. So I really we want this to be a learning exercise and not get upset and be defensive about the mistakes I made. And I've had people do a bonus on the scores, how many points did they get, and you can play all kinds of different games with this if you want, but I will send this to you afterwards. After we finish, I'll email it over to you. If you have any questions about it, let me know. We'd love to help you with this. All right, so why don't we wrap up the day, and what we'd like